Amran. We're now concentrating on the bottom match in this first quarter, or top quarter. Sindhu versus Okuhara. Of course, days gone by, both would have been seeded. These days, neither woman is. Just waiting for the court officials to come out. I watched PV Sindhu in Singapore last week, Bobby, against Chen Yufei, and although she lost, she took the second game against Chen Yufei and played, I think, probably reckon as well as I've seen her play for at least 2 years. She's had some injury issues, but we know on her day, and she's still 29, but you almost think she's older than that, but she's been around for such a long time.
It feels like we've been watching these two for years. I mean, Okuhara made her international debut 15 years ago. I think they're a year apart, aren't they? I think she's 30.
Yeah, they first met in 2012, these two.
And, you know, who can forget that World Championship final back in 2017? So we're going back 8 years. 22-20 in the third. Took nearly 2 hours, and Okuhara came through. But, yeah, I mean, 29 and 30 years old, there's still time. They can still do it. I think it's just a case of have they got that longevity in a long match against a tough opponent these days. But who knows what's going to happen here.
So black for you. Black, you want the toss that side.
Last meeting you saw on the screen there was at the Arctic Open about a year and, well, nearly 2 years ago actually now.
Yeah, I was looking at that last night, about a year and a half, yeah, October time. And the interesting thing is, you mentioned the 20 previous meetings, about half of them have gone the distance as well. So whether that sets up anything here today, I'm not sure.
I just wonder if Okuhara's playing well enough, though, Bobby. I mean, it's only her seventh event of the year. She's only had 3 wins all season.
And I've been saying the same thing about Sindhu for the past year or two as well. So that's why I'm struggling to sort of predict this one in any way at all. I think after last week, with that performance from Sindhu, you'd probably have her as favourite, but and the rankings, of course, still. As you can see on screen, I'll let you talk about that, but top 20 player there still.
Yeah, that best ranking of 2 was a long time ago, back in April of 2017. Okuhara has been higher. She was #1, top of the shop, in October 2019. I also think with Okuhara, it kind of was so renowned for her speed on the court. And yes, you know, you don't lose all your speed at 30, but I don't think she's quite the mover that she used to be in terms of court coverage.
No, I absolutely agree. I try and get to the gym now and again when I travel around the world at these tournaments. We're often in the same hotels as the players, and I always see her working on what I would call prehab routines. TheraBand type stuff. It almost looks like she's constantly carrying injuries which she's trying to protect her body against, whereas other players are looking for how to get more speed and power out of their gym sessions. So I don't know. She's 30. Yes, she used to be one of the most mobile players on the circuit. Whether she still is, I doubt it. But at times we've seen Sindhu over the last couple of years look sort of very off her best. But you know, these two, both former world champions, both ton of Olympic medals, barely 30 years old. We could be in for a terrific game there. And Erwin Shah, interestingly, former Indonesian men's singles coach. I didn't even know he wasn't doing that anymore. Sat behind PV Sindhu's court.
Sindhu, who won silver at the 2016 Olympics, a bronze in 2020. Okuhara won a bronze in Rio, so 3 Olympic medals between them, these two. Nothing much on the head-to-head, as we've said. Just Okuhara hasn't played many matches this year.
Well, this is quite big news for me, at least. It might be something that others know widely and well, but big surprise for me to see Erwin Shah. He's been sat behind Jonathan Christie and Anthony Ginting of Indonesia for years. And no doubt will be a big benefit to PV Sindhu's singles game.
Pusarla. Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Pusarla Sindhu, India. And on my left, Nozomi Okuhara, Japan. Pusarla Sindhu to serve, Lobo, play.
So Sindhu getting us started. That's going to be right on the line.
What a return of serve.
Service over. 1 love.
What impressed me particularly about Sindhu when she played Chen Yufei, even though she lost the match, as I mentioned, but she was extremely attacking. She wasn't as if Chen Yufei went off the boil in the second game. Sindhu thoroughly deserved to win it, and she did it proactively. And I'm assuming she's going to take similar tactics into this one.
Yeah, I think over the years, if we were to describe Sindhu's strengths and weaknesses, it would be quite simple. She's got a devastating attack. She's a tall player. She's powerful too. But she can struggle to get down low at times. And so in defence, players like Yamaguchi, for example, have picked her apart over the years. Well, what happened there? It looked like Okuhara slipped for a moment, and then Sindhu stopped playing.
It's actually a...
Was this a fault? Or did it go under the net?
It went under there, I think.
Right, it was hard to see from that angle.
It's actually a 9-inch height differential. 5'10" Sindhu, 5'1" Okuhara. That was just off target from the Indian.
There's a little delay as Okuhara's adjusting something with her hair. On the line again.
Service over. 4-3.
Well, she's made a mess of a few of those there, Okuhara.
4-0.
Yeah, her touch at the net, it seems, is lacking slightly. Those lifts into corners have been working well, but that net play has created a few mistakes. Very hot and cold so far.
Yeah, of the 9 points we've had, the vast majority have been ended by errors rather than winners.
Just looking at Okuhara's tournaments over the last 12 months or so,
6,
finding it quite fascinating how she's now ranked down in the 30s, and yet she's only really going to the bigger events. The likes of Singapore and Indonesia last year, Japan Open, Malaysia Open, India Open, All England. You know, these are big events, and she's not going to any of the smaller events. So whether the Federation still have faith that she can get the job done, or perhaps she's earned the right over that terrific career to allow her to just sort of pick and choose.
I think it's the latter. I'm sure it's the latter. But if she stays on the run that she's on, and if that ranking keeps slipping and slipping, then there's going to have to be a re-evaluation at some point. That's more like it.
Service over.
Well, I agree with that.
5,
I mean,
7.
Natsuki Nadara has been doing a decent job at sort of 300 and 500 level over the last year or so. Samoka Miyazaki, you know, she won World Juniors a year young, and she's now top 10 in the world. And of course, Yamaguchi is still flying high.
Well, by her standards, that was a very average effort.
5.
Almost had too much time to think about it. Took an
Yes.
age to come down, didn't it?
And she was mid-court as well. That's a couple of overheads she's put into the net. Perfect length, I think.
Yep.
Service over.
Well, she's a hard woman to get the shuttle over. I said 5'10", PV Sindhu.
That's terrific from Sindhu.
Service
Really nice
over.
play.
9,
Sets
6.
herself up nicely here. Good touch. Gets up early.
And you would think, with all her experience, Sindhu can surely sense that Okuhara's way below her best. To try and dominate early here.
I find it interesting, though, that was nice from Okuhara, that
Service over.
I'm almost expecting her
9.
to be unable to reach winning shots. But that's not been the case. The shots, or the points rather, that she's losing have been largely her own unforced errors.
Thank you. Quick.
A few months back, I was commentating with Okuhara playing one of the top Chinese players. I think it might have been Wang Zhiyi. And she was simply outrun. She just couldn't get... The rallies went on. And with every shot, she became a few more inches behind the shuttle. And by the end, it was almost a carbon copy of every rally was the same. She just couldn't get to the winner that hit the floor. That's not what we're seeing here so far today.
Well, that was the other thing. She was renowned, wasn't it, endurance. In her heyday, when she was world #1 and won the World Championship back in 2017.
Yeah, that was that epic final, these two players.
That was on the line. And the smile from Okuhara tells you she knows it.
10, 8.
2 years later, Sindhu was world champion. But she's also got a couple of silvers and 2 bronze medals. The Indian. That's a lovely shot. Even with her reach, Sindhu's never going to do anything with that. Just about got to it, but nicely weighted from Okuhara. Missed that.
Yeah, just wide.
10, all. Nozomi, get ready. Fight.
Sindhu looks like the aggressor today for me, and if she can keep the shuttle in court for that reason, I like what I'm seeing. I expect her to do well here. There you go.
Just the error count, though, isn't it? She makes that one,
Service over.
but it's only 11-10
11-10
at the mid-game break. So Sindhu, with this narrow lead, has looked probably the more aggressive, or definitely the more aggressive, but it's been a high error count, both women. That's going to go wide. Well, it's a challenge. I don't think she's going to get any joy from this, to be honest. We're pretty much behind that line. It did look as though it was beyond it. Hawkeye will check.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge remaining. 12-10. Play. Service over. 11-12.
She's got a game face on today, Okuhara. Sindhu always has. She means business here. There's got to be something as well in no matter what the circumstances are, where the ranking points are, what it means to an event, just the fact that these two have got so much history, I think becomes the overriding sort of factor.
Yeah, you mentioned Sindhu won the last time they met. That was coming up 2 years ago. Probably doesn't mean a great deal.
Well, this is the Okuhara of old.
And this is exactly what I'm saying about Sindhu. You know, she plays a competitive point, and then just a loose shot, and it's a gift of a point, really, for the Japanese there. Not under any pressure with this, really.
No, and against somebody like Okuhara, who over the years we've seen so consistent, and will just run and run and run. You can't afford to make errors. Sindhu had a chance to apply more pressure there and refused it.
Well, there was a net cord, but I think Sindhu should have made a better fist of that.
Yeah, gets a bit lucky, but I expected Sindhu to still be able to cope with this. That bounce off the tape. She had lots of time. That's well in.
Service over. 14-30. Just like
PV Sindhu's socks came straight out of the Plymouth Argyle club shop, did you know? The green and white stripes.
For the uninitiated, that's a football league club in England playing those colours. Another error from the Indian.
service over. 14-all. Nozomi, get ready quickly. Touchdown.
Just about staying on the good side of the umpire, I think, Okuhara. A little friendly warning there. Nice play from Sindhu. There was a little bit of deception on the penultimate shot,
40.
forcing Okuhara to be, yeah, that one, to be a bit late. Slightly less quality on her shots, and then Sindhu with a chance to attack.
Well, that'll help the cause. Nothing Sindhu could do about that whatsoever.
Service over. 15-all.
She's managing
Thank you.
the match well so far, Okuhara.
On court.
And whilst it might have been a very genuine interval earlier, she took a few moments off to sort out her hair. She's had a little walk around the court a couple of points ago, and the umpire asked her to come back. She's just asked for the mop to come out. And I don't remember a need for it. She's
Service over.
not letting herself get too worked up. I think she's taking her time here.
Never been more than 2 or 3 points in it in this opening game, which looks like going down to the wire here.
Good shot from Sindhu. Oh, that was a poor shot from Sindhu, and Okuhara quick to exploit it.
16-all.
That lift far too flat.
Well, Okuhara in front now, and
16.
I think making the fewer errors of the two, and it has been an error-laden match. Okay, net cord there, but
how good was the net shot?
Yeah.
So well below the tape, and compare that to those net shots at the beginning of the match where Okuhara kept making a mess. So you're right, she's just really settled down, hasn't she?
well, that was more purposeful from the Indian.
Service over.
Absolutely nailed that smash. Too hot for Okuhara to handle. Now, which of these two women can hold their nerve on business end of this opening game?
body smash at Okuhara, who is obviously a lot shorter, almost took it at head height. Good variation from the Indian. What a leave. Confidence.
It was a good lead, but I think Sindhu will be very disappointed for that.
Yeah, there's been a few, hasn't there?
Well, that's 3 in the last 4 points, where the power of Sindhu has been too much for her opponent. Who again is trying to just take some time out of the game here. Okuhara making Sindhu wait.
It's a wicked smash. She really coils that shoulder up. It's good play from Sindhu. Oh, but she's gone long again. Just committing badminton suicide.
Yeah, just making life harder for herself here. So once again, Okuhara taking a little bit of time out here.
I'd say she's pushing the boundaries of her umpire's good graces here. Okuhara has to be careful. Half court, Okuhara, yes, second time round she finishes.
Yeah, she was in trouble from the serve, wasn't she, Sindhu? Didn't read it. And here's a game point for Okuhara, who's definitely been the more defensive of the two players, but she won't care. She takes this opening game. Oh, that was a very nervy one.
Hardest point to win is so often the last one. In great position, nice and early. Oh, lovely. What happened? Okuhara was either caught completely with some sort of deception, which I didn't notice, or she slipped here. No, I think it was just a good shot.
Yeah, fine piece of disguise from Sindhu. So, having saved a game point herself, she now has one of her own.
Thank you.
It was a nice rally too. It was quite conservative from both, taking very little risk.
That'll do it. So she's going to be really satisfied with that, having come from behind, saved a game point, and Sindhu takes the opener, 22-20.
A little bit passive here from Okuhara in the final rally, and I think it's an example of what we've seen quite often throughout the opening game. And but for those few errors at the rear court from Sindhu, that would have been a little bit more comfortable for the Indian, but she's got through it in the end.
Second game, double. Play.
So eyes focused back for the start of game 2. Huge history between these two players, 21st meeting. Both, I think, would agree they're in the latter stages of their careers at 29 and 30 years old, and they've had some epic battles in the past. That opening game, proof that they're still up for the fight, and particularly in this rivalry. It's good playmaking, good defense though from Okuhara, who's smiling midway through the rally. It's dropped in, I think.
Yeah, it has. Right on the sideline, and no challenge from the Japanese.
There was a big grin here from Okuhara. A couple of points earlier, I'm not sure what was going on. Maybe like so many of us, just enjoying the badminton.
Well, I think there's a lot of mutual respect, isn't there, between these two. I mentioned they've been playing each other for, what, 13 years now.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Has to be, and especially some of those titanic battles. I mean, I've mentioned the World Championship final back in 2017.
I mentioned first time they played was in 2012. That was the first time they played singles. They actually played on the opposite sides of it in a doubles match before that first singles clash.
Wow, that's quite some stat. I can't imagine either of them playing doubles. Now we're so used to seeing them move on a singles court.
A long time ago, both obviously, I don't know, 16, 17, something like that. This is one of Okuhara's best winners.
Oh, there's a challenge. Yeah, I thought there'd be a challenge here.
Yeah, she didn't wait long to raise her arm, Sindhu, so Hawkeye will look at this. See whether any part of the shuffle caught the line.
I thought the line judge was a little bit slower to react than we've seen. And I actually thought, although we're sat in the worst position behind this court, that it was long, but it's in.
Challenge unsuccessful. One challenge.
Well, Sindhu guilty of more unforced errors here, and Okuhara's taken full advantage.
Wow, what an unorthodox shot on the back line from Okuhara. Paid the price in the end.
Very late decision, wasn't it? She was going to leave it, and normally that doesn't work.
Normally it's a swing round the ankle. She almost played this off her hip. What is that? Yeah, had to be put away.
4-5. Pusarla, take the shot.
Lovely shot.
Service over.
It's just the angle, wasn't it?
6-4.
Tons of reverse slice. Really well disguised as well.
No.
Well, just proof that no matter what the quality is, getting to the shuttle, getting it back over the net, sometimes is all it takes. I wondered whether we'd actually see Okuhara capitulate in this second game after narrowly losing the first, but if anything, she's working harder than ever.
Service over.
Just not sure that
7.
Sindhu's playing well enough to facilitate a scenario where Okuhara would capitulate. And I mean, I think both women would accept they've not been at their best so far. It's been a little bit of attritional at times. But these are the matches you just have to tough it out. It's about winning.
Yeah, win at all costs, and you know, they've both been there and done that.
Terrific shot. Wonderful piece of disguise from the Japanese. Sindhu didn't move a muscle.
Well, where she lacks the height and power to impose a big attack on her opponents, we've seen that forehand slice just then, and previously that reverse slice earlier. And I don't think I can remember Okuhara hitting the floor and outplaying Sindhu all that often in the opening game, if at all.
Well, she swung and missed at that, but it's been called wide. The challenge has been asked, so we'll see what Hawkeye says.
I think this might have caught the line, you know.
No question. I think Sindhu was trying to play this. I don't think she left it. Let's have a look at the technology first of all. Yep, the slightest piece.
Correction in. Nine, 5. Play. Service over. 6-9.
Too many mistakes from Okuhara around the net so far today. And equally, Sindhu, with a similar error counts in the rear court, I would say. It's hit too many long. Yeah, well played.
7-9.
That's a lovely shot again. I like the variation
Service over.
from Okuhara and the
10,
confidence to
7.
slow the rally down and play those delicate shots. You'd expect Sindhu now to be looking for those shots a bit more often, covering the forecourt. Okuhara would therefore know that and perhaps look to go into the rear court a few more times with a punch clear. It's cat and mouse, as always.
Mistakes keep coming, and Okuhara in pole position now at the mid-game break without being anywhere near her best. She's 11-7 up.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Players on court. Pusarla on court. 11-7. Play.
Well, that's one of the best shots she's played.
Court, please. Service over. 8.
I reckon she's
11.
missed more of those than she's made, but that was perfectly placed. And I think Okuhara was a bit late getting there as well. Yeah, shuttle was past her when she was in mid-dive.
Thank you. Pusarla on court. Nozomi Okuhara. Nine, 11.
So the first 3 points after the
10,
mid-game break
11.
to Sindhu. Put her right back in this second game. Game Okuhara has to win, of course, to keep this round of 32 match alive. Well, again, that's second slice of good fortune she's had.
12.
They say
10.
these things even themselves out, but I don't think Sindhu would agree with that at the moment.
No, we've seen quite a few. She had a 2 or 3 at the end of the first game, didn't she? Nice shot.
Yeah, this thing about evening themselves out, I think
13, 10.
maybe they even themselves out over the course of a season, not necessarily in the course of a match. That was a piece of ill judgment from Sindhu, and suddenly Okuhara's back in charge of game 2. Oh, again. Well, someone somewhere likes that at the moment.
10.
Yeah, Sindhu's reaction, just turns away, and can't believe how many times that shuttle has bounced off the net cord.
Service over. 11-14.
Well, whatever opponent, whatever level, can't afford to make a service error like that.
Service over. 15-11.
Well, it was
Okuhara can't believe that was called in.
Service
yeah,
over.
I think it was in.
12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think she can't believe that she left it, more to the point. That was
Right.
probably a better way of saying it. Yeah, she was so clever. She knew that was good. And then
It's quite a clever serve, actually. It had the better of Sindhu, who was forced to defend. That is well left.
13.
Well, there's been fits and starts throughout this match. We saw some free-flowing badminton at the beginning of the second for a short while. The last few points have been far from it.
it's a good reach that
Yeah.
by Okuhara.
She's given away the initiative, though. She was in control of the rally at the start. Had Sindhu almost on a shoestring. Oh, that's clever. Good shot.
14-15.
A little bit of a delay. Forehand deception. Turned it cross. It's a high-risk shot.
Yeah, that was quite a subtle bit of disguise, that, wasn't it?
Thank you.
Yeah, requires a lot of skill, and
Get quick.
we don't see it all that often from Sindhu.
Sorry, 14-15.
So from 4 points behind, Sindhu on terms
15.
now.
Oh,
But very, very tough to call this match. Trying to remember when the last time I saw either of these women, and there were quite so few winners. It's a question of who might be able to outlast the other, I think. Great defence twice from Okuhara, but she couldn't do anything about that.
16-15.
Yeah, good follow-up this time. Sindhu quick to the net.
5 points in a row now for the Indian.
She definitely lacks that little bit of extra speed she used to have in the follow-up, Sindhu. Well, that's miles in, isn't it?
Yeah.
Service over. 16-0.
I mean, that was in by a metre.
I wonder if she was caught off guard by the shots, perhaps, or not just ready for it. And again, same again. Okuhara going over the top.
16.
Well, you remember Okuhara had a game point in the first game. Then Sindhu, a couple of moments ago, had the lead in this one. I just wonder if they're kind of, in the back of their heads, they're trying to fall over the line here, rather than be proactive, waiting for something to happen. That's good. Oh, that might have gone wide, I think.
Yeah, deciding to take no chances.
That has gone long. And that was a chance, too, for
Service
Okuhara.
over. 17-all.
Sindhu on the full stretch. Yeah, this time a good leave. Quite brave too, because the last 2 points have been won in the same spots by Sindhu leaving the shuttle and it falling in.
Yeah, and often the reaction after that is to err on the side of extreme caution, but
that's a lovely shot.
that's
Brilliant
wide.
shot.
It's
Wow.
wide, although she has challenged.
I saw this in personally, but my eyes aren't what they used to be.
Well, let's see what Hawkeye. This is huge as well at 17-all. Called out. Just did a little piece of the shuffle, clip the line. No, it did not. Bobby's off to the opticians first thing in the morning.
Yeah, I went recently. That's the worst thing about it.
18-17. Play.
Well, she's missed a few of those in this match. May yet cost her dear. Heard the scream of anguish from Okuhara when she dumped that into the net.
That was a terrible looking net shot. Technically, I mean, the racket face was almost pointing down into the middle of the net when she played it, which is very unusual for a player of this quality. Almost like she was looking to slice under the shuttle and play almost a doubles net. That might have caught the line.
I don't know. It's been called. It's been called in. Of course, it's been challenged. Just looked to me like it might have missed it, but we'll see what Hawkeye says. And how big is this at 19-17? It's either going to be 3 match points or just a point in it.
Oh, this is huge. No, miles out.
Correction, out.
So just a point in it.
Service over. 18-19. Play.
This second game still very hard to call.
Oh, that's what a time to produce that from Sindhu.
Service over.
Where's she been hiding that shot?
Well, that's exactly what I was going to say. She just leapt both feet, jump out from serve, cross smash winner. She was almost waiting, expecting that slightly deceptive flick serve from Okuhara.
Pusarla. Pusarla. Your forward.
So, 2 chances then for Sindhu for a place in the round of 16. That was half a chance too, because that was mid-court.
19-20.
And that was halfway up the net.
Yeah, saw the finish line, I think, Sindhu.
So, 1 saved, 1 to go from Okuhara's point of view. This time on her own serve, though. Oh dear, oh dear.
20-all.
So facing 2 match points, Okuhara hasn't had to work at all, really. Remember, she had a game point in the first game, which she couldn't convert.
Who's prepared to take the risk? Neither of them is my view. Similar position at the end of the first game. That's it, I think.
Yeah, that was a beauty. That was an absolute beauty. And that was Sindhu taking a bit of a chance. And it paid off for her, deservedly. So she's earned a 3rd match point here. A double Olympic medalist.
Okuhara fighting for her life, and Sindhu's missed again.
Start is over. 21-0.
Well, entertaining, yes. Exciting, yes. But finest of badminton displays, perhaps not today.
And Sindhu's reaction said it all. He was disgusted with herself for missing that.
It's got to be finished. Okuhara had the chance then twice.
No.
She's gone wide, I think.
No, and here's a point to level up for Okuhara.
Out.
In an error strip, well, there's no way that this is going to get turned around. It may just be a case of, okay, let's make Okuhara sweat a little bit here before she has to serve for the game, because this is clearly wide by a mile.
I wouldn't be surprised if both players are keen to just enjoy the break and settle themselves, because despite being veterans almost of the sport, it's almost like a
21.
youthful exuberance type of performance out here today.
Play.
A lot more mistakes than I would have expected.
So having saved 3 match points, game point here for Okuhara, and usually when this happens, she'll take the 1 game point, and that's wide, and it is 1-1, and we're going to have a decider.
Second game won by Nozomi Okuhara, 23-21. 1 game all. Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Final game. Level. Play.
Well, it might be a question here of who's going to blink first in this deciding game. Been playing for 53 minutes already. Sindhu having squandered 3 match points, and in fact on all 3 of them she had chances, but let Okuhara get out of jail.
2 love.
Nice deception from Okuhara, gets her on the board in the decider.
Service over. 1, 2.
Much more now about strength of character than any kind of technique issue. Neither woman, as we know, has been at their best, but doesn't matter. It's just about getting over the line.
Well, that for me is a good example of how Okuhara is still very much in this match. A match in which damage limitation seems to be the kind of order of the day. Who can reduce their error counts?
Yeah, I mean, I think staying in the point is not the worst tactic.
Thank you. Pusarla. Back on court.
At the start of this one, I was talking about how about half of their meetings, their 20 or so meetings, have gone the distance. I honestly didn't believe that this one would today. And yet here we are, almost an hour in, with plenty left to go. Oof, Okuhara slipped then. And again. Wonderful shots.
That's pretty much the story of the match. Microcosm of that point. Wonderful play from Okuhara, couldn't finish it off, and then we see the unforced error. And she lets Sindhu get out of jail. We've seen it the other way lots of times too.
I wonder whether the errors are coming from a need to try and finish the rally, so they're going for the lines, or whether now both of them are 30-ish years of age, these longer points, an hour-long match, whether they just can't physically keep up anymore.
The other thing that I think is fascinating is first game, Okuhara had a game point, tensed up. Second game, Sindhu had 3 match points, tensed up on all 3 of them, which is, you wouldn't expect with 2 players of this much experience.
Yeah, this much caliber. Yeah, and I compared it to watching 2 sort of junior players who create errors because they're simply the exuberance of youth. They're trying for that magic shot too often, that kind of thing. It's hard to explain. Perhaps it's the rivalry. Perhaps it's the fact of all of those big finals they were in and some of the really important matches they've played. Lovely. That is lovely.
Service over. 5-6. Thank you. Play.
Well, you heard the come on shout from Sindhu. That was a much better shot across Okuhara's bows.
Service over. 6-7. Nozomi. Take the shuttle. Change the shuttle. Don't solo. Chase it. Pusarla. On court.
Well, umpire asking the players to get on court. No, neither seem particularly bothered. Sindhu still towing herself down. Just over the hour mark now, this round of 32 women's singles.
It's fascinating looking at their history. I'm looking at the number of times the scoreline has been 22-20 in the third to one of them. And there's quite a few. And the stage was really set all the way back in 2012, 13 years ago, at the Asian Championships for under-19s, 22-20 in the third. Their first ever singles meeting, at least in terms of BWF records. And they've had the same scoreline a few times, including that World Championship senior final in 17.
9-6.
Nicely followed in.
Service over. 7-9.
A lot more accuracy in the shot making here, threaded on the line. And still looking sprightly.
That was in by a huge margin. That's the second time Sindhu's done that. Left the shuttle when it was nowhere near either sideline or back line. That's a great shot. Almost the best shot she's played in the match, I'd say.
Yeah, she keeps the shuttle in. And Okuhara has got a real chance. She's hit quite a few winners here against Sindhu, who was well back in court in defence. Wow.
Service over. 10-9.
Well, that is shaking off some frustration, I think, hitting that smash. Score at 10-9, and coincidentally, that is the actual head-to-head record in terms of singles. It was one of those meetings being in doubles. I was just looking. Oh, she's gone wide.
Well, that was a chance, not taken. So Sindhu with a 2-point lead at the mid-game break in the decider.
Court 1, 20 seconds. Court 1, 20 seconds. Coaches, sit on your chair. Players on court. Eleven, 9. Play.
Well, players change ends for the last time.
12, 9. Pusarla. 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 Probably the opponent.
And 14 years after their first meeting on court, this bitter and yet amicable rivalry still continuing to be a showpiece of world badminton.
Service over. 10, 12.
.360 in defence from Okuhara. What a turnaround.
Thank you.
There's a real belief about Okuhara's play.
11, 12.
What a rally, fully focused throughout. So you could see the way she was moving, really up for the fight, and what a clever shot to finish.
Service over. 13-11.
Well, a couple of rallies where we've seen the Okuhara of old, and then before you know it, that unforced error.
Now's the time to come on strong. Business end of the deciding game. What a shot from Sindhu.
That is lovely. I was about to say it was a much more conservative looking rally from both, and then Sindhu, out of the blue, goes for something a bit more outrageous. What a shot.
Thank you. Nozomi on court. Pass the straddle. Pusarla. 14-11.
Yeah, opened up the court beautifully there.
15-11.
Sindhu moving smoothly and perhaps more quickly than we've seen her for most of the match. That was terrific, the way she created the opening.
Play on.
Costly
16-11.
at this stage.
Yeah, it really was. Shot quality from Sindhu, deep into that corner. It's a must-win point now for me, for Okuhara.
Service over. 12-16.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Service over.
she looks by far the more
17-12.
purposeful of the two players at the moment, doesn't she, Sindhu? Not just the score line, but just the way the match has gone tactically in the last, well, since the interval, really.
Yeah, there was a definite strategy there. She had her late, stepped up the court, and took that shuttle cross-court net so early. There were a few moments, a few rallies ago, where Okuhara looked fired up and focused, but Sindhu's fighting back just to keep the Japanese away from her on the scoreboard. Excellent shot again.
18-12.
Why mess about playing shots to the back when you can just keep the attack?
Yeah, and she's landing those winners now. She's been missing as often as she's been hitting previously, but now looks right in the groove. Okuhara really up against it here. There's a spring in the step, isn't there, of PV Sindhu, just 2 points away now from securing this match after an hour and a quarter to this point.
A lot more aggressive, the style. Yes, she played 1 or 2 shots to the rear court, but they were aggressive, they were flat, they were purposeful, they weren't defensive, and doesn't give Okuhara the chance to hit those slices from the rear court. Same again.
20, match point 12.
So, 8 match points for Sindhu. Remember, she had 3 in the last game and certainly tensed up. But now, with the margin she has, surely it's time to end this. Not quite yet, though.
Service over. 13, 20.
Wow.
Well, she's not going to lie down, is she, Okuhara?
14,
No, and that was very purposeful. She hit that serve, switched her feet, her right foot went back, looking for that lift. And she took full advantage.
So, 2 saved, but still 6 in hand for the 2019 World Champion.
Good rally. Oh.
Thing is now with Okuhara, she's kind of almost got nothing to lose. You know, she was 8 match points facing her. Now it's 5. Not expected to do anything other than lose. And kind of, in a way, it gives her pusarla to play, which she has been doing, and forced the error from Sindhu on that occasion.
Get ready. Go, get ready.
Yeah, she's definitely playing with freedom. She still has the strategies in mind, but the shot quality has been a lot better the last few points from Okuhara.
That's long. It's been a struggle. But as they say, no pictures, only numbers in the final reckoning. And 21-15, Sindhu takes the match. And with it, earns a place in the round of 16. It wasn't pretty at times. She will not care about that.
And a lovely embrace at the end it was as well. We might get a replay of that because you could just see what these two players mean to each other when they look back in a few years' time on their careers. This rivalry has been something rather special. And it might not have been the prettiest, as you said, but Sindhu gets the job done.
And gets it done by this scoreline, 22-20, 21-23, 21-15, 78 minutes on court. Well, a warm welcome back to Jakarta. We are 3 matches down, and we've reached our 4th contest, which is women's doubles. And a pretty fascinating one, this. Rahayu and Setien Ingram versus Chang and Yang of Chinese Taipei.